Hello, how's it going? Good to see everyone. We are going to go on 1 minute timer today, and you're going to need a band, and that's it. So it's just band and body weight. Oh, and a bench or a table, chair, something for tricep dips. If tricep dips bother you, you can use your band and go into kind of band on the shoulder, opposite arm. So if your left hand's in the band, goes on your right shoulder, and then you push the right arm down. You can go a few on one side, a few on the other. But other than that, that's all we need. We are going to start off with our warm-up. Warm-up of the week, right? Interlace your fingertips, grab your left knee, hug it into the chest, and then rotate the ankle. Scan your body real quick. What do you feel? What do you notice? Are you set in? Do you have good posture? Switch your legs. Chest is tall. Find that stack. So even though we're on one leg, you still have that stack. Heels, hips, shoulders, head, all in place. All right. Lift up that upper body. Grab through the core. We're going to take our left leg forward, swing across the right arm. So we're getting that leg, but don't lose this little twist in the upper body. So that's helping us get the upper body ready and set to go. Okay, let's hit up that other side. Remember, we want that twist across. Chest is tall, abs are locked in, arms are outstretched. Keep mindful of that pelvis, getting that little hip tuck under. One more. All right, take your little low squat, sinking it down and in, that yogi squat. I like to hinge one ankle up, one heel up, and then the other side to side. All right, so like I said, we're going to be on 1 minute rounds. Not super duper high intensity, but it should build quite a lot of heat. And we're going to have to really mentally connect today for those 1 minute holds. So a lot of them, level off in the middle, are isometric holds, meaning that you're supposed to flex into the move and hold mostly static, stable, set, not moving around. So just flexing in, hugging muscle to bone. All right, come up a little bit higher out of that squat. Sit on your heels, plant your right hand and rotate your left up. Trying your best to keep those hips level. So again, this is for that upper body movement and rotation. Drop into those hips. Big rotation on one arm, then the other. Grab through that core. Make sure it's alive and well. Last one. All right, lift those hips, hang over the legs a second, and then jump your feet out a little bit wider. And we're going to hinge over. So if you hinge to the right, left leg is straight, have the toe come up, stretch through that inner thigh, and then push up and over. Rotate to that other side, toe comes up, bring it up and over. Hopefully you are challenging yourself in one way, shape, or form outside of the 30-minute workouts, 30 plus minutes. So it's all that other stuff that we do off of the mat outside of our workouts that really add up. Let's go ahead, bend your knees, come onto your haunches, interlace your hands. I want you to just rotate through the wrists, one way or the other, and the other. But it's all that other stuff that adds up in your 23 and a half other hours of the day. And trust me, I know that there's a lot of demands for your time and attention. But make sure that you're taking time to give yourself the best benefit so you get the best results and the best feedback, kickback from your hard work on the mat. 30 minutes a day is really all that you need if you're kind of following up with other healthy choices throughout your day and night. Okay, so with that little being said, grab your band. We're going to put the band on above your kneecaps. Also, you will need a wall to sit on. Now, if you don't have a wall nearby, you can hold a glute bridge. So you can lie on the ground and just push your hips up into a glute bridge and hold there for your 1 minute. I haven't been doing a ton of wall sits recently, so I am a little nervous. See how this goes. I actually sometimes struggle with isometric sets. So this is good for me. Get me out of my comfort zone. Okay, find your wall or lie on your mat, and let's get started with our wall sit. Ready, set, and go. So while we're sitting here, I'll kind of talk us through what's coming. First off, though, get your setup. So your heels should be right underneath your knees, and you want to obviously put tension on that band. However, you also want to kind of find flexion for the inner thighs. So you have to find a little bit of a tug of war. Push into those feet and then drive your body into the wall like you're trying to push the wall over. And then I want you to dig into the heels so that you can activate just a little bit more through the hamstrings and the glutes. Otherwise, it becomes a pretty quad dominant set. We want to try to keep it in those glutes and hamstrings. Okay, so after this, we're going to stand up and we're going to be doing a lateral walk. We're going to try to stay squatted for as long as possible while we're walking back and forth left and right. We have 5 seconds left. Remember, this is a headset, right? Getting into the mind as much as the body. Okay, straight into our next set. So hinge your hips back and down, and then we're just going to walk. Now, key here, again, is to self-flex. So we can just walk ourselves back and forth without any big deal. But we want to try to flex into our move. Flex into the body. Remember all those muscles that we fatigued on the wall. We want to keep those flexed in and held strong here. Chest is tall. Wrap around that core. Make sure you're keeping tension on the band the whole time. So you don't want your knees to come too close together. This is our big leg set. After this, we're going to go onto hands and knees and hit up a bear abduction. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so find your hands and knees. Knees right underneath your hips. Hands right underneath your shoulders. Pick your knees up, curl the toes under, and pull the knees out away from one another. So we are obviously moving more than we were on the wall, but we still have isometric contractions through the arms, the back, the core, so the torso, the trunk muscles, and then flexing in through those legs as we push them out and as they come back in. Point your elbows back towards your toes. Keep your knees hip width so they don't fall any closer. Next up, we have a plank. If you don't do a plank, I'm going to have you do a dead bug from the ground. So you'll lie on your back and you'll just hold a static isometric dead bug. Tuck the hips under, flex deep through the belly. This is our last exercise for the round, and then we have 2 more rounds. Flex through that abdomen, tuck your tailbone. If you're in a dead bug, you're just holding tension on that band. Push your low back into the ground. Keep your shins parallel to the ground. Scoop the belly, pulling belly button toward your spinal column. Flex into the arms. You're trying to hug muscle to the bone. And breathe and keep your brain relaxed. Try not to let it scramble and run away with you. Time. Whew. All right, coming up, we're going to hit up that wall sit. Okay, bring it down. Remember, we want to try to find the underneath side of the legs, the core. Try to push your upper back into the wall. Hopefully your hips are right in line with knees. Thighs parallel to the floor. If you start sliding down the wall, that's fine. Hold on to it. Recognize how much, when you kind of settle your mind, your body kind of settles down and stops freaking out like, oh my gosh, how much longer? But rather, I got this. It's no big deal. Just got to flex my muscles. Hang on. And time. All right. We're going to do our little lateral squat walks. Sit back in that squat and walk it. Again, your intensity is up to you. Speed is not what we're going for here. It's holding flexion. Can you get into those inner thighs? Can you get into those abductors? Chest tall, core strong. Well done. Hang in. Hinge those hips back. Knees line with toes. Check in and make sure that your foot's not dragging. So a lot of times I notice it drags on the ground, but we want to pick it up and step. Next up, we have our bear abductions. 3, 2, and 1. All of this as your hips and abductors start screaming, check in a little deeper with the core. We're not pulsing, just driving out in control as the knees come back together. You got to decide you want it. It's okay to burn. It's okay to shake. Keep your mind in control. Spread through those fingertips. Scan the body. You're strong. You're a fighter. Time. Plank. Or your dead bug iso. Dead bug iso is great. It's just as tough if you're holding those flexions. Put a price on it. If you got a price on your move, on holding it, there was a reward at the end, would you make it happen? There is a reward at the end. You'll know you have done it. Getting stronger. More mentally tough as well. Drive into it. Breathe deep. Flex your glutes. You made it. All right, one more round. Starting on that wall. Whew. Set it in. Flex it deep. My legs are already shaky. This is good. We haven't been cheating. Try not to come out of it. Stay in it. Embrace the burn. This is what we came for. Tell yourself, take one more breath, and then at the end of that breath, take another, and then another. You have 5 seconds. and time. All right, we're gonna do our little squatty walk. Hinge it back and down. Pick those knees up. Pick those feet up. Knees line with toes. Don't forget about your core. So we're watching and paying attention to that upper body. You want it to stay still, right? So it's not swaying back and forth as you walk. We're really working to build those little muscles, the adductors inside the thigh, the abductors outsides of the glutes. Keep your range, not too close together. Tension on that band. You got 5 seconds. Time. All right. Hitting up that bear. Whew. All right. Shoulders over wrists. Knees under hips. Try to lengthen through the back and then draw the belly button in. Oh, I forgot. We're pulling the knees apart. There we go. That takes it up a notch. Drive to that thumb and first finger. Hold through the core. Flex through the back. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then your plank. After this, we'll get rid of the band. Move on into an arm, upper body set. Flex it in deep. Make sure those hips pretty much in line with shoulders. Halfway. Try to keep your breathing even. Wrap those thighs. Grab through the core. Hold on to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right. Well done, well done. Okay, get rid of your band. You may need a couple little weights. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have you stay with your band. So I'm going to talk us through what we're going to do really quick, and then we'll get to it. So we're going to do shoulder taps. Yes, we did just come out of planks. If you need to end up hitting your knees, that's fine. Try to keep those shoulders tapping. Otherwise, you'll stay on your toes, hit your shoulder taps here. Then we're going to do a tricep dip on the bench. If you don't do a plank with the shoulder tap, you can use your knees and grab through that core, or grab your band that we just got rid of, put it around your wrist, lie on your back, hold a glute bridge, and pulse here. Okay, I already showed you what to do with your tricep pull down. If you don't do a bench dip, okay, like this, I would stand though. After the dips, we have a plank rotation. So you're going to plank on your forearms. We're going to rotate, lifting the arm all the way up, tuck under, and rotate, lift all the way up. So focusing on keeping the rotation, that tuck through the core with your rotation. If you don't do those, you're going to rotate like this. One knee's going to stay down, rotate over side to side. So still, I want you to focus that core. You know how to contract. Remember I told you this was kind of like an isometric contraction day. That's what we're doing. We're flexing into that torso and holding there whole time. Then we're going to go to a dead bug. On our back, arms up, legs bent, and then extend opposite arm and leg. All right, here we go. 12 minutes of work. We've got it. Start with your high plank or on your knees, shoulder taps, belly firm. You want somewhat of a wide base of support on those knees or on your toes to try to keep your hips from rocking side to side as much as possible. Just breathe with it. Yes, we're feeling the core. Get into those shoulders as well. When you want to take a break, see if you can do one more first, then another one more, then another one more. Breathe into it, core strong, mind strong. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're hitting up those tricep dips. Still here, core holding steady. Try to push your elbows straight back, squeezing toward one another, and the shoulders stay right on top of the hips. Pull that chest up. Our brain is going to the triceps. Use those triceps. Still see if you can grab a little flexion through the thighs, of course through the core. Keep pressing. We'll be there soon. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Okay, arms are a little noodly. We're going to do those plank rotations. Otherwise, remember, you're on your hands and knees. Turn and lift. Both elbows down, tuck your tailbone. Turn and lift. Not too fast. When you hit up center, check that those shoulder heads are up over your elbow crease. Next up, we have our dead bug. That'll feel nice. Getting off those arms for a second. Come on. Open that chest all the way. Stack your hips and your shoulders. Time. All right, on our back. Push that low back into the ground. Extend. Bring it back. Take your time here. This is not a rush move. So good to reverse it. I have to remember as well. It's a different kind of flexion, trying to make sure you get that low back super actively pushed into the ground. Keep rotating those shoulder heads down. Create resistance. Trying to find the toughest way to get from point A to point B. We're not just here to check it off. All right, roll it over. Shoulder taps. We're not just here to check it off. We're here to get it done right. If that means take a break and come back, do it. But don't take a break just because it gets tough. Sometimes it's one foot in front of the other, right? Carry on. Sometimes I think for myself, how would I motivate my child, right? What do we want for them? Find the easiest way of getting there, or knowing the power of pushing through those tough moments. 3, 2, and 1. All right, tricep dips. These are going to be tough, I think. That's good. Here we go. As I said, tough is good. Your hips should be pretty close to the bench, but you still have the integrity of that core, so you're not overarching your low back, space between the ears and shoulders. Find your pace that works for you. Not too fast, not too slow. 10 seconds. Try to push evenly through those arms. And time. All right, I'm going to do that rotation. Find your plank first. Rotate and lift. Brain goes to your obliques and your torso. What some of us might call the spare tire area. Okay? That's where we want to focus the work. Know where you want to feel those flexions. We're not just trying to get it done, right? Think about what you're doing to get there. Flex it under. Hold it strong. The shoulders are engaged and working as well. Your thighs. Next up, we have our dead bug. Time. Get your set, knees over hips, arms over shoulders, push that low back into the ground. Now check in. If you're struggling to keep those transverse muscles held, those are the ones you cough with or choke or laugh. If you're struggling to keep those held as you move, just hold your dead bug. You might even need to put your feet on the ground. We're envisioning that we're pulling the two sides of the abdominals on either side of your belly button together, right? We're trying to knit them together. Think of pulling a cord really, really, really tight, like a corset. So you're actively pushing that low back into the ground while also knitting the abs together, not letting them protrude. Okay, shoulder taps. Last round. Try to plant your hand right under the shoulder. Check in with those hips. Make sure they're not sagging. Make sure they're not poking up. Stay in the moment, one at a time. Don't worry about what's past. Don't worry about what's coming. Spread the fingertips wide. Three, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, tricep dips. Push that chest forward. Open the chest. Try to roll those shoulders back and down. Hips underneath shoulders. Keep pumping. We got it. Way to go. Hang in. 7 seconds. And time. All right. Plank rotations. 2 minutes to go. Find your plank first, then rotate. Flex into those shoulders, the back, but then of course that core. Tuck tailbone. Every time you rotate through center. Nicely done. Open the chest. Tuck your tailbone. This is a foundational day as well. Building the awareness of where we can flex into those foundational muscles to push us healthily through all the other sets. Okay, dead bug. When we're slinging weights, doing plyometrics. Okay, set it in. Find that flexion and tuck first. Then decide if you can extend. Should be tough to get the extension. Breathe and keep that flexion and connection of the core. Create resistance, create drag. My abs are on fire, yours should be as well. In time. Whew. Well done, well done. Okay. From your back, cross your right ankle over your left knee and let the right knee just drop away from you. Put your arms out nice and wide. Whew. Cold floor feels good. And then let your feet rock over to the left. Open that chest, slide those shoulder blades down the back. Those planks don't work, don't count as your extra planks. Grabbing that core, bring it in, hug the knees into the chest, keeping that figure 4. Exhale. And then let's switch to the other side. Right foot on the ground, left leg over the top. Rotate your hips so the feet, that left foot's on the floor. And then try to let that left knee kind of drop out away from your torso. Well done, you guys. Well done. I definitely had my moments through a few of those minutes. Once you realize, though, bring it in, figure 4 stretch. Once you realize what you can do, you know, when you get that mind connected, then the money. You got it. Good job. Flex both feet in, tug it in deep, deep, deep. All right, go ahead, flip it over. We're going to hit a quick downward facing dog. Push into the hands, drive the hips up and back. See if you can feel some stretch through the hamstrings and the calves while you grab in the upper back and the core. Walk your hands back to the feet. Hang over those legs. Fantastic job. Thank you so much for joining me. We're chipping away at our Living Well sessions, so good work. Keep it up.